McFarland.
I'm Parisa Dayhoff,
and welcome to the 13 O'Clock Show. Today we have special guest star Tammy Tran,
the author of the New York bestseller, Anansi the Spider.
Come out, Tammy.
So, Tammy, we've heard a lot of great things about your book. Tell us what it's about.
It's about this spider named Anansi, and he likes a lot of different foods, and he has a lot of friends that make good foods, and he likes to try all of them, but it gets the better of him, and he has to learn a lesson in the end.
And what is that lesson?
He has to learn not to be greedy.
That's a very important lesson.
Yeah. So I heard you brought out some African foods.
Yep. I have some African salsa here for you guys.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah, this
looks really
So can you
good.
tell me how it relates to the story?
Well, in the book, Anansi tries a lot of different foods, and this salsa is like one of them.
That's good. So,
I'll grab the chips.
okay.
I'll just stick a little face. I'm sorry guys, it's more fruity. I don't even understand. I don't understand. We're just using salsa, Parisa. It's very spicy salsa, by the way. It's very tasty. It kind of reminds me of tortilla salsa. It's spicy? I don't know. Very delish. Thanks, Tammy.
No problem.
So, Parisa, I don't know where she is right now. Let's pray for her. We're gonna go read the book. Title 2.
Anansi was a very hungry spider, and luckily for him, his wife loved to cook. She cooked divine cuisines such as amala and fufu. Though Anansi's wife was the ideal chef, he still loved tasting the food the other villagers made for themselves and their families. One day, Anansi decided to stop by his good friend Thumper's house. Thumper was cooking Anansi's favorite food, greens. Anansi saw the greens in Thumper's pot and became extremely excited. Thumper, Anansi shouted, "There are greens in your pot. They are not quite done yet. Stay a while. They'll be done soon," exclaimed Thumper, excited as he thought of sharing another feast with Anansi. "I love you, Thumper, but I have some errands to run. Here's what I'll do for you. I'll tie one end to my leg and one end to the pot. When they're done with the greens, just gently tug on the web and I'll be there ASAP." Thumper shook his head. "Sounds like a plan," and with that, Anansi was off to find more delicacies. As Anansi walked, he smelled delicious beans. He followed the scent of the beans all the way to Chimp's residency. As soon as the chimps spotted Anansi, they ushered him over. "Come here, please stay and have some beans with us." And Father Chimp. Anansi nodded and said, "I'd love to, but I have a few errands to run." So again, Anansi suggested the idea of attaching the web to their pot and one to his leg. The chimps agreed, and with that, Anansi was on his way. As Anansi walked off to the chimp's property, he smelled yams and honey. He followed the scent over to Hogbert's house. When Hogbert spotted Anansi, he ran over and dragged him over to the pot of yams and honey. Hogbert was so pleased to see Anansi and invited him to dine with him. Anansi again proposed the idea of the web. Hogbert agreed, and Anansi was on his way. By the time Anansi arrived to the river, he had a web tied to each of his legs. He smiled and thought to himself, "I wonder which pot will be ready first." As soon as he said that, he felt the first tug on one of his legs. "Ah, this is the leg tied to Thumper's greens." He began to walk towards Thumper's yard, when suddenly he felt 3 more tugs, then 4 more, then 5 more, and soon enough all 8 of his legs felt a tug. as all legs were being pulled in every direction at the same time. "Oh dear!" cried Anansi. His legs began to get thinner and thinner. Anansi rolled down to the river, and quickly all the webs disappeared. Anansi pulled himself on shore as his body ached with pain. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea," exclaimed Anansi. Ever since that day, Anansi's legs have been extremely thin. He never did get food that day.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Debbie Parlin.
I'm Chrissy Dayhawk, and welcome to...
So sweet.
You always say that, like, when I talk to adults, I make
Go.
Okay, wait for a second.
Come on out.